Welcome to our 2023 year in review. Just want to thank everybody for joining today. We still have a lot of people rolling in. I see the numbers going up as we speak. Want to thank our partners for joining today and everyone from the MSP community for joining as well, taking time out of your busy schedules. I'll give some background of this call while people are still rolling in here. This webinar is all about talking about how BSN evolved in the past year. We're going to touch on some of the updates that we released in our product and as well as some of the resources that we're now providing to our partners. After we talk about this year, we want to give you a look ahead into some really exciting things that are coming in 2024. So really excited for that. We have a packed schedule, so we're just going to jump into it. All right. We're going to start off with some introductions. My name is Chris Gross. I'm the Director of Partner Relations with our product team here at BSN. My role is really focused on getting feedback from partners and MSPs such as yourselves, and making sure that's reflected in the evolution of our products. Today's a great opportunity for you to give us your feedback. Feel free throughout the call to put that feedback in the chat. We love to hear from you. It really helps us as we start looking towards the future. I'm joined by a couple of people today. I'm joined by Nicole Kurtz, our Director of Partner Relations. I'm joined by our fearless leader, Art Gross, our CEO. Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello. All right, let's jump into it. Nicole, before we jump in, actually, do we have any other housekeeping items you want to touch on?
Yeah, if you don't mind, I just want to mention we do have some giveaways today. We are giving away a Kindle Paperwhite and some BSN swag as well. So you just need to stick around for the entire webinar and we will give that away at the end of the presentation. And as Chris mentioned, we do have a really packed schedule today, so we will not have time to do a formal Q&A session at the end of this. But please feel free to submit your questions. As Chris mentioned, we will reach out to you after the webinar. We just won't be able to do it live today.
And it's so packed. You told me I can't even introduce myself. So let's go. Let's go to the next slide.
Let's run.
Let's do it. All right. Nicole, I'm going to pass it back to you to talk about some of the great marketing resources we released in the last year and some of the updates we have about marketing.
All right, perfect. So when we planned this webinar out, we thought it would be more impactful to kind of categorize things into themes. So we won't be going through January, February, March, that kind of format. We're going to cover themes. So there's a lot of different content you'll get throughout this webinar, but we're going to start with the marketing resources. So in 2023, we kind of transitioned our marketing campaigns a bit. If you've been a BSN partner for a long time, you're familiar with our partner resources page. You know that in the past we would upload maybe a graphic and a video every week or something of that format. But over the last year, we really listened to our partners and their needs for more insight into really how to use those marketing resources. So not just getting graphics and videos every week or every month, but really how to use those, how to make them flow, make sense, what to do when. That's why we adopted our monthly toolkit format. So as you can see here, we did 12 toolkits throughout the year, one every month. The topics varied, so you can see January we did Marketing 101, July we did Holiday and Travel, but the goal of these toolkits has really been to help you kind of position yourself as a trusted advisor in all things in the security space. So this can be used for clients as well as prospects. It's not specific, they're jam-packed full. Chris, if you can hop to the next slide, I can kind of talk through what those entail. This is an example toolkit. So this is November's kit on artificial intelligence. There's things like email templates, infographics, social graphics, videos, blogs, all sorts of different content. And it's all bundled really nicely into these kits. So there's a content calendar with suggestions and really help kind of teach you how to use these resources most efficiently. So this has been a huge update to how we release our marketing content. Like I mentioned, all 12 of those toolkits are packed full of multiple graphics, multiple videos, all sorts of things. So I highly recommend you check those out if you're a BSN partner. They don't have to be used in order either. We did release October Cybersecurity Awareness Month, but outside of that, the topics can be used anytime throughout the year. So if you are just seeing this and think, oh, I missed November, I can't use this, absolutely. Use it in January, use it in February. You can even kind of pluck and play with the various campaigns. So we will be releasing after this webinar today. Actually, we'll be sending out a PDF file that has easy access links to every single toolkit from this year. So it's all in one. You don't have to dig around. If you do want to find these on your own, they are in the partner resources page. You can also find them in the partner news feed that we have at BSN. But like I said, they're packed full of amazing content. I highly recommend you check them out. If you have not seen them, if you have questions on how to use them or make the most of them, please reach out to your partner engagement consultant. That's something we're really proud of here at BSN. Each partner has their own dedicated resource. We call them a PEC to help really customize their approach and their plan. So please feel free to reach out if you have any questions.
Yeah, that's one of the great parts about this toolkit. Sorry to cut you off, Nicole.
No, you're good.
One of the great parts about this toolkit is it's a building repository. So it's not just a one-time use sort of thing. By being a BSM partner, you get access to all of this, and it's going to keep building as we move into 2024 as well.
Yeah. One other thing I wanted to mention outside of these toolkits, we did release various other pieces of content throughout the year, different products and things like that, which you can find in the partner news feed if you search the hashtag marketing as well.
Great. We'll keep going past marketing, talk a little bit about just enhanced communication support. Some of the things that we focused on this year, really big theme for us is we wanted to make sure as we evolve, as we release more updates to the platform, as things change in BSN, we want to make sure we have as many touch points as possible with our partners to communicate those changes. So here's a few of those updates on how we're going to do that better now and in the future. Nicole, I'll pass this one to you to talk a little bit about the Help Center updates.
Sure. So a lot of the feedback we got is, we have great support, but it'd be great to kind of track that and have the accessibility that MSPs are used to with a true ticketing system. So with that, we were able to launch our BSN Help Center this year. It's been incredibly helpful to allow our partners to submit support requests, to track previous support requests, get kind of like those live updates to see where things stand, but also to have a true robust knowledge base. There's a great knowledge base in this Help Center with articles on various topics, really kind of your self-serve resources, if you will, all in one place. So you're not hunting around various locations to get the help you need. You can just visit the Help Center to find what you're looking for. So if you haven't set up your account for the Help Center, I highly recommend you do so and start checking it out. There's a lot of great stuff in there as well. I know on the next slide we'll talk about that a little more, but did anyone have anything to add here?
I'll just mention with the knowledge base, it's all indexed, which is so easy to use. So you can just search anything you're looking for. We'll talk a little bit about some of the things you can look for in the next couple slides, but really easy to find what you need.
And that's really the key. And when you said self-service, as we start to scale more and more into the thousands of partners, we want to put that information at our partners' fingertips and make it accessible. So we're going to really push more in 2024 to get people registered and using the Help Center.
Absolutely.
All right, Nicole, you want to talk about our monthly product recap and some of these updates?
Yeah, absolutely. So this kind of goes right into that conversation around the BSN Help Center, but this is something new we implemented this year as well. So something that was really important to us was making sure that when we do a release, when we do these monthly updates and things like that, what we've released. It's not just a one email trickle down. It's a resource that you can come back to and really figure out what we released, and not only what came out and when it came out, but what action is required on your part to make the most of that feature. So with that, we launched our detailed release notes this year. Like I mentioned, those are released at the end of every month, and they include anything that came out that month that you should be aware of and your next steps. So if there's no action required, it will tell you there's no action required. If there's some requirements to configure a notification or things like that, it'll let you know that as well. So I definitely recommend checking out this resource every month. In addition to that, our phishing scenario update, we send that monthly as well. We had some feedback actually on our partner community call. We had some partners who weren't sure when we add the phishing scenarios every month. So we were able to build out this release as well to just kind of recap what's added every month, the difficulty level, what country it pertains to, and things like that. So those are both sent out via this monthly product update email. On the right, you'll see the photo of that. That's an email from BSN. It includes these resources. It includes any need to know product information. It's a very valuable resource. If you're not getting this email and you want to get this email, please let us know in the questions panel, and I can work with your PEC to make sure we get you added to that list. But we also just added all of this to the BSN Help Center as well. So you can go into the release articles in the Help Center, see what we launched in June or November. You can also go into our phishing scenarios section as well and see what scenarios were added there too. So it's just another way to kind of bring this all under one roof for you, really make sure you're informed about what's going on at BSN and that you have those resources you need.
Again, that's a challenge. As we get more and more partners, we're constantly updating features and pieces of the product. How do we get that information out there? Doing it through emails, through community calls, putting in the help center. It's not just one thing, it's multiple avenues trying to communicate so our partners know what we're doing. Very important.
Yep. And that brings us to our next section as well, our community call, which is a perfect point of basically communication with our partners every month. Talk about similar things of what's changing at BSN and what are product updates, resources that are now available. Nicole and I are on those calls every month. And this is a partner-only call for you all to ask questions. We answer all the questions on those calls, give feedback. It's a great touch point for us to hear immediate feedback on things that have just been released and things that are coming in the future as well.
Yeah, if I could add on that, Chris, that community call is an excellent opportunity to provide feedback. Chris and I look forward to that call every month to really hear from the partner community what you need, what's working in BSN and what's not working. So we would love to have you join us for that call if you're not already doing so.
Yep, absolutely. We have a ton of other webinars, including the one today that talks about these updates and are educational as well, just to give you insight into us as being experts on what we see as working in terms of security and educating your clients when it comes to human security and technology education in general. All right, Nicole, you want to take this one?
Sure. So another way we kind of improved transparency over this last year is to bring a true status page to Breach Secure Now. That helps keep you informed if there's any portal issues that have been identified. Of course, we never want that to be the case, but really giving you, again, a kind of that self-help resource to see, okay, my client's having login issues. Okay, this report maybe didn't download correctly. Does anybody else have this issue? Are they working on it? We try to keep this up to date, and luckily, knock on wood, we haven't had to use it a whole lot here, but it is a great way to kind of track any issues that we're experiencing and kind of see, did we identify a fix? Is it being tested? Have we released an update? You can subscribe to this status page as a whole. You can also subscribe to individual incidents. So like I mentioned, if you have a client experiencing an issue with the login, you could subscribe to that incident as a standalone as well and just kind of track updates on that. But the link to access this page is listed here. We'd love for you to bookmark that for easy access. And I think I covered everything for that one.
Yeah, I think you hit it. I think that's the end of our communication section. I mean, this is really important to us this year. This was a big initiative to have these additional touch points and be more transparent when things are changing in our platform. So really happy that we can make these this year, but we also want to get your feedback on what else do you want to hear from us about. Feedback on the community call, feedback on additional webinars or resources that'd be helpful to you all. That'd be great. Okay, moving right along here into some product updates. Really excited to talk about some of the product updates in the next year. We're not going to have enough time to talk about every single small update or large update that we released in last year, but what we really want to focus on are some of the themes that we hit. That's really how we look at product releases, is we try to bunch them in the themes based on partner requests. We hear from our partners all the time on specific themes, and that's what you're going to see in these updates. One other thing I'd like to mention is that in the last year, a little bit before that actually, we started doing a quarterly release schedule. And what that means is any updates, large updates that we release, we do it on a quarterly basis. So we release them at the end of the quarter. That gives us plenty of time in order to test the product for usability, test the update, make sure that it's meeting our partners' requirements, but also build resources that allow you to easily deliver this to your clients and make sure that you have everything you need when we do release the update. Allows us also to give you plenty of notice as to what is coming in the future. So with that, let me jump in with our first theme here. We hear a lot about this. This is ease of use and platform management. We put out a lot of updates in the past year that focus on this theme, and we hear from our partners all the time, right? Time is money. The more time I'm spending managing your platform, deploying your platform, that's less time that I get to do other things or get to be in front of my clients face-to-face showing value. So we focused on this a lot this year. We'll be focusing on it a lot next year on how to make the platform easier for you to manage and do the heavy lifting for you when it comes to success. So let's jump into the first update here. This is all about enhancements to default settings. So we focus a lot on set and forget at Breach Secure now. And we have a lot of settings in the platform that are able to be customized, but we want to also make it really easy for you to create a standard operating procedure for your clients. So we updated our default settings this year. We gave you a partner checklist is what we called it. And this basically shows you what all the default settings are in the platform. It shows you whether or not they are configured. It has some education components so you can understand what each one of these are. And then you can easily go and configure these settings. These are things like automated reminders and reports, and training course publications, notifications, welcome messages, things like that. So really easy for you to see the status of that. In addition, we've updated how those notifications work just to make it easier to manage across all of your clients, but also easier to manage at the client level as well for a client-by-client customized setting. So when I say update at the client level, one thing I'd like to mention, right, you do have the ability to set up a default. So if you want default notifications for all of your clients or default welcome message, you can easily do that. That's what we see most of our partners doing, is setting up one time. They set up every single client the same. That's usually the most successful method, but we know all of our partners. Partners have different requirements. We know that their clients have different requirements as well. So all of these, we do allow you to customize at a client level as well. And we easily will show you the current setting that's set for that client that you set at the default level. And then we'll allow you to customize those if you need to for a specific client as well. One thing that's coming soon is an update to our default welcome message as well. That's going to be coming in the next 2 weeks, the update that we're pushing at the end of this month.
And it's constant balance of giving flexibility and customization and making it easy to use, right? The more customization, more flexibility, more options, the harder it is, you know, to make sure that you can do that across all your clients. And then I like the fact that we've added a lot of these defaults, you know, and be able to do cross-client settings much easier.
Yeah, especially when we're adding new things all the time. When we add, say, a new notification or something like that, that if you do want to change the settings for your clients, you change it in one place as opposed to changing it in every single client account. All right. Along the same lines with ease of use is simplified deployment. And this is a big theme of last year and will carry over into next year as well. One of the things that we did in a lot of areas of the platform is consolidate management into like areas. So we have made a setup for something like dark web. Everything's consolidated into one spot. And we put indicators in there as well to make sure that everything that is accessible in terms of ease of use or automation around the dark web has an indicator to see, has it been configured or has it not been configured? So really simple to be able to see in our platform different automations that are there and then be able to see, are they on or are they off? We did this for our dark web, our notifications as well. Coming in the next 2 weeks, we're also updating our user management page. You can see that on the right, where all of our user management features will now be on one page. And you can see the automation and integrations around user management there as well. So you can see directory sync, single sign-on, MFA, is that enabled or is that disabled? Really easy to set that up right from here. But again, simplifying deployment, simplifying the ability for you to see are you using all the tools that we have available to you? Last thing that I'll mention here just about deployment in general, we've also updated our user onboarding process. So this was a heavily requested item. All of our partners, they wanted one single kickoff, one marker as a kickoff to the platform. We've made that our welcome message, so no notifications will be sent out until you send out that welcome message. Just a really simple, transparent kickoff to the platform so you know exactly what to expect. Again, we're going to be building more and more when it comes to transparency, so you know exactly what's going on in your client accounts. More to come beginning of next year. Really excited to talk about in our next community call, but this is definitely a theme we're continuing to bring into next year. All right, moving on to the next theme here. This is all about showing ongoing value and boosting engagement. This is such an important thing for our MSP partners, is how can we update our platform and how can we give you tools in order to easier show value to your clients and ongoing value. Also getting users engaged. We know security awareness training and training in general is hard to get people engaged with. So we've added a lot to our platform in order to help them engage easier in security awareness training and training in general. The first area to show ongoing value is our automated reports. These were heavily requested. These are reports that can be automated to send out to you as a partner. You can send it out to a support desk, or you can send it out to client management. Some of these are going to be touch points for ongoing value for like a dark web monthly report, so you can show and ensure your clients they are being monitored on the dark web. What's their status every month? Our phishing report can show them their phishing status on every single campaign, and they can also see how well they're doing in terms of training. It's really important that you get your client stakeholders engaged. We'll be talking about that a little bit later, but these are good touch points to continue to show that ongoing value and give your client management a regular status.
You know, you've said it multiple times, Chris. Sorry, you said it multiple times that, you know, that's heavily requested. You know, our roadmaps are built on those requests. The partner feedback is really important, and you know, we've delivered on a lot of what our partners have asked us for, and we'll continue to listen and build our products around that feedback.
Yeah, I was going to actually echo that as well. I know the dark web monthly report and the micro training report were heavily requested, and you know, we were able to kind of prioritize those based on feedback. So if you have reports that you'd like to see added to the platform, we would really love to have that feedback.
Absolutely. All right, moving along into more of user engagement and how we get employees engaged, but also client stakeholders engaged. We've updated our manager reminders, employee reminders. The manager reminders are more focused towards client stakeholders and managers in the platform. Remind them to go do things in the platform, like go take your security risk assessment, or if your company employee secure score falls below a certain threshold, we send out a notification as well. Talk a little bit more about that in a sec. The employee reminders are sent to the employees to go take action in the portal. Go take your annual training, go knowledge policies. If your employee secure score, which is the this is the metric in the platform that everything's based off of, right? Based on how well they're doing in training, if they're on the dark web, they're clicking on phishing. If that score falls below your set threshold, you get a notification sent out to each employee. This is much easier than having to go contact each employee individually and remind them to do something. So really easy. Again, these can all be set up as defaults across all of your clients or customized on a client-by-client basis. The last one here, which is a new client reminder, employee reminder, is our micro training completion. This is our continuous reminders to go take training. If they fall below a certain percentage of micro trainings completed, you can also have this notification sent out to remind them, get back in and start taking more trainings again. Okay, and this one I just want to touch on again, our low company employee secure score notification. This is a new manager notification that we released this year. This one's really important because what we've found from our partners giving us feedback is that the best way to get clients engaged is to get client stakeholders bought in, right? Make sure that they're the ones pushing to their employees how important the employee secure score is, how important getting their security awareness training and doing it on a regular basis is. So what this low company employee secure score notification does, anytime their company average employee secure score falls below a set threshold, it's going to send out this notification. It's going to give them information. They can get into a report to click on, or they can click into a report and actually see what each employee's employee secure score is. So they can go tap the people on the shoulder that might be below a set threshold. And then we're also going to give them tips on how we recommend getting that employee secure score up for all of their staff. Couple things that we always recommend, right? Gamification, incentivizing them to get to the top of the leaderboard here, and also setting minimum requirements, that carrot and stick, that they're making sure that they haven't fallen below that set threshold, but also rewarding them when they go above and beyond. There's an email template attached to this as well, so the manager can send this right out to their employees right from the email, kind of reiterating those points again, setting up those competitions or setting those minimum requirements there. So we've gotten great feedback on this, great engagement with it as well. Well, we definitely recommend checking it out if you haven't seen it already. This one was enabled by default, so your managers are already getting this one. All right, that pretty much wraps it up, I believe, for our ongoing value and engagement. These are really important to us to make sure that we're making it easy for you to get users engaged and keep them engaged in the platform. And it's also really important to make sure that you're able to show ongoing value with these updates. We're going to continue this theme into next year as well.
And it's a balance between our partners talking to clients and the system automatically sending that information. And that we're basing that on feedback. What do you need us to automate, and what do you want to handle in your QBRs and those kind of conversations, and provide reports to help you with those conversations. So it definitely is a balance that we're trying to build around.
Yep, absolutely. All right. So on to our next section here, which is just talking about more training opportunities. And we're always focused on at BSN about continuous education. This is really important. We feel that if you are just doing periodic trainings, you're not up to date on what's the latest, and you're also not keeping security front of mind or technology front of mind and what's new. So we focused a lot on this in the past year in providing more training opportunities and better training opportunities. First one I want to hit on is our 2023 annual training, the updates that happened with this training. If you haven't seen this yet and you are an existing partner, definitely check out our annual training. This is going to be carrying over into next year as well, the update. This is a complete overhaul of our annual training. This is really a cinematic approach to training. Our content team calls it infotainment. And what this is it's actually a story. It's like watching a movie. You can actually hear about a real breach that happens to this organization, and you can go through the steps of hearing about how that affects individuals in the company, while at the same time learning how to prevent things like this in the future. So it's a really great way to keep users engaged. We got great feedback on this. This is an award-winning training this year. We did get an award for Cybersecurity Training of the Year. In addition, we do our own internal feedback form on the training. So after a user takes the training, they can actually fill this out. Out of 5 stars, people have rated it a 4.8 out of 5. So really great feedback on this so far.
Yeah, of all the years that we've released training, this year was amazing. The feedback that we've gotten, not only, and I heard a lot at IT Nation, our clients love the training. They love the annual training. They love the micro training. So it was great to hear that.
Yeah,
great feedback.
I love this training. It's something that I think is really unique about us at BSN. Our content team is responsible for building out this training, writing this training. Our media team helps with creating this and making it happen. But our team actually goes on site for the production of this training and can be involved in this every step of the way to make sure the content that we need to convey, the phishing schemes and all the things really come through the way we want them to on camera. So I think that's a really unique part about this training program, is that we've really been involved beginning to end with that.
Actually, word on the street is that our content team are actually in the videos.
Little Easter egg there.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're in the credits or not, but they were actually part of the background and the scenes.
Yeah.
Yep. this is carrying over to 2024 too, not just with our cybersecurity training, but our HIPAA training is also going to be the same type of infotainment. So going into next year, you're going to be able to see that in both modules. I've watched both videos. They're both great. I really thought the HIPAA one was really fun this year. That's going to be fun.
It makes HIPAA fun, really fun.
For sure.
And the key is you need employees engaged. There's certain ways of teaching employees, cybersecurity or HIPAA, and they have to be interesting. You can't, and that's really, as we evolve, we keep adding more and more to that training to get that engagement. So, and we'll continue that.
Yeah, absolutely. The next thing that we focused on in terms of more training opportunities and enhanced training opportunities, it's really accessibility. We know that people all learn differently and they might need different resources. So we've really taken an effort this year to provide those different ways of learning, in addition to making it more accessible in general. We've added closed captions to our annual training this year. So you can get, and the micro trainings, we added closed captions for as well. So you can actually see closed captions in English, Spanish, or French. In addition, we now have a alternative way to get the training. If you want, as you're watching the video, you can also download a supplemental file. That's a PDF. It's about 10 pages, but it has all written information about what you're learning in the training. Some people will watch the video. We see most watch the video, but some prefer the read. So we have supported that method as well.
It's also a great way to share with family and friends. You download the information and, oh, this is what I learned at work. You got to worry about these scams or this type of ways that criminals could scam you or social engineer you. So we've heard a lot of sharing with those downloads, which is great. It's exactly what we want.
Yeah. And the training is very engaging. I love watching the video, but I am more of a reader. So for me to be able to download this supplemental training file and kind of reiterate what themes I've learned throughout this training video has been really helpful for me as well. So I think kind of getting to accommodate all learning styles has been really helpful.
Absolutely. All right, and another additional training point that we added to the platform this year is dark web remediation training. As a company that's been doing dark web monitoring for almost 10 years now, we thought this was extremely important, is to educate people on the dark web, especially those that have been exposed in a dark web data breach. What this training is for anybody that's on the platform that has a dark web breach. You're going to be prompted to go take this training. There's two pieces to it. You can watch a training video, and this is going to give you information about what the dark web is, why is this dangerous to you, what are your next steps on what you should do now that you have this information exposed on the dark web. One of the great pieces about this is that we see a lot of times this takes weight off of the MSP to go explain what the next steps are now that you're involved in a dark web data breach. The second step, once the user takes that training, they actually have to go through and acknowledge each one of the breaches that were identified here. When they acknowledge a breach, it's going to give them information about what was actually exposed. Big point that we always hit on. The dark web and the danger of the dark web is much more dangerous than just an email and password being exposed. A lot of times, personally identifiable information, addresses, dates of birth, even social security numbers, phone numbers, roles in your company, all of these things can be exposed in these breaches. What ends up happening is people use those for sophisticated attacks against someone, something like spear phishing. So it's really important to have all of your employees understand what the dangers of the dark web is and what the dangers are specifically for them.
And they also, I think you may have mentioned it, but employees can get back points on their ESS, which is really important because we want employees, you can't just, you failed phishing, so your score goes down. They want, employees want the ability to take more training to get those points back. And employees really care about that employee secure score, which is great. And this is another way that they can add points to that ESS.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I know a lot of the reason we didn't do that initially was, once your data is on the dark web, it's out there. So that was kind of the initial thought, but diving deeper into training here has been really, really helpful for our end users. And of course, getting those ESS points back is great, but also that deeper training on, okay, you've actually personally been involved in a breach. We can speak directly to them on the impact that they're experiencing. So this has been really valuable for those who have been involved in a breach. And if users haven't been involved in a breach, they do become involved later on, they will be prompted on their dashboard to go in and take this remediation training. So the system knows when they've been involved in a breach to trigger this training class. So it's really helpful that way as well.
Yep. This is another theme we're planning on continuing the next year, more training opportunities. Like I said before, continuous education is something we feel really strongly about. So we are going to continue to add more training opportunities. There's going to be some information at the end of the call today just about some really exciting things that we're adding next year, but definitely a theme that we plan on continuing to perpetuate to next year and beyond. So that wraps up the high level of product updates, but there were a ton of other smaller updates and even larger ones that we didn't get to cover today. Just for the sake of time and wanted to leave some time and to go into next year and what's coming, we wanted to leave it there, but I wanted to briefly before then just talk about some high level and back-end improvements that we've been making. BSN has improved and evolved exponentially in the past year. We now have 3,000 partners and 1 million users on the platform. To support those users, we made a ton of platform updates to scale way beyond 1 million because we plan to continue to exponentially grow in the years to follow. So a lot of back-end improvements have been focused on this year in order to support that growth. But not only from a back-end perspective and a platform perspective, we've also scaled our team at BSN to help support our growing partners and users. We scaled our support team and grew that team. We scaled our partner engagement team and sales team and all of the supporting components to make sure that you can support your clients in the best way possible.
And if you're one of those 3,000 partners, thank you. And if you put, your clients and those users, it just blows me away that we've actually at 3,000 MSP partners and 1 million users on the platform. So just, and this is just beginning. We're just starting.
Yeah. With that, I want to jump into where we're heading next and the really fun stuff. I'm super excited to get into Q1 of next year and beyond. I'm going to actually pass it over to you, Art, and you can talk a little bit about where we came from and kind of where we're evolving to here.
All right. So, we launched BSN in 2014, and you can see our logo there. It's an ugly logo, and I'm allowed to say that because I designed that logo. So, and we had no partners. We had a few partners. We had a few HIPAA Secure Now partners. We started converting them over to Breach Secure Now partners. We had no users on the platform, and we just kept listening to our partners and making the platform better and better. We rebranded in 2022, and our big motto was, we're not your grandfather's BSN, and we continue not to be. Not that we were bad back then, but we've evolved as a company. We had 20 employees. We have 100 employees now. Now we have 3,000 partners, 1 million users. We have, multiple functions, product releases that keep going every quarter. So we're constantly evolving the platform, listening to our partners, listening to their users, and making the platform better and better. And going into 2024, we're about to unleash or to roll out some of the biggest updates we've ever done. We're enhancing our BPP, and we'll talk about productivity training, and we're piloting an enterprise breach prevention and productivity subscription to get mass adoption. So we're really, we're trying to go from that 1 million users to 10 million users. And we're really just super excited, and we're constantly evolving what we do and how we do it with our partners. So it's going to be exciting. Why don't we go and talk about all the good stuff that we're releasing?
Let's do it. So Nicole, I'll pass it off to you to talk a little bit about how we got to productivity and kind of what this journey looks like from an MSP perspective.
Sure. So it's not just BSN that's evolving or has evolved or will continue to evolve. It's the MSP space as a whole. So MSPs are really evolving past just technology suppliers. This space is really turning into MSPs becoming business advisors overall and educators on technology. It's not just getting that technology in the hands of your clients, but really making sure that they understand how to use it securely and efficiently. So the goal, I would say, is to really provide your clients with those tools to streamline their platform management, their business management in a secure and efficient fashion. At BSN, we really want to make sure that we deliver you those tools that allow you to provide greater value for your clients and really allow your clients to get the education content they need to understand beyond just general cybersecurity practices. You know, there is a whole world of tools out there for them to use securely and efficiently that they may not even be aware of or how to do that. So we want to help make sure that the MSP space can continue to evolve in that direction. And with that is education. So really kind of evolving that education beyond just cybersecurity training, but using our platform and helping MSPs be able to provide all those tools to become that true business advisor. That's really where we're headed. That's our goal. We want to make every employee a superhuman. You know, our tagline is superhuman firewall evolved. But we really believe that every employee can be a superhuman given the right tools. So, Chris, if you want to pop to the next slide and kind of talk through that a little bit deeper, but how do you create superhuman? So this is really a holistic approach. It's what we call a two-prong approach. You need to educate on cybersecurity, but also productivity. So making sure employees know how to use those tools securely, but use them efficiently as well. That's really important to build that kind of whole holistic superhuman. So when we think about this and evolving education, we really want to find ways to engage employees, get them excited about training, get them excited for more learning opportunities. And the way we want to do that is by delivering content that they're interested in. So teaching them on tools that they can use to be more productive, the tools that they're already using every day in the workplace, and making sure that they're using them the best way they can, as quickly as they can, and securely as they can. We want to do that not through 3-hour long, boring, classes, kind of the old school cybersecurity type training. We really want to make sure that we can provide cybersecurity and productivity training to employees in a really fun micro format that gives them content they're interested in a way that they'll actually retain that information.
Yeah, there's so much to hit on here, but I think you said it perfectly, Nicole. I think MSPs are perfectly positioned to get additional value out of the tools they're already providing. And that's not just in a sense of cybersecurity, but also how do we use these tools and use them effectively? There's so many tools in organizations today that people are using on a day-to-day basis, but are they using it as well as they could be using it? Probably not. Do they even know what tools that they have available to them? This is really a great opportunity for you as MSPs to be able to get your clients more value out of the tools you're already providing them. So I'll jump to the next slide, and we're going to announce where we're heading first with productivity training, which is super exciting. The first place that we're going was a no-brainer for us. It's Microsoft 365 Suite. We've seen that a ton of our partners, 97% of our partners, in fact, are providing Microsoft 365 tools to their clients. And they're usually including this in their managed service agreement to all of their clients. So this was a no-brainer for us to be able to provide productivity training in Microsoft 365 in order to get you more value out of the offering that you're already giving them, and also provide to your clients more value out of the tools that you're providing to them. In addition, this Microsoft Suite is also the most imitated platform out there across the world. So we want to match our cybersecurity skills and cybersecurity knowledge with the education of Microsoft 365 and how they use it. You need to educate on how they use a tool wisely or securely, as well as educating on how they use the tool effectively. If you're missing either one of those areas, we feel there's a gap there, and that's where we came to this, and that's a request that we hear from our partners is to provide additional training, platform-specific training, and that's kind of how we got to Microsoft 365 here.
And talk about evolving. When we released BSN in 2014, it made sense to talk about generic, phishing, generic scams. Now we feel we need to evolve into the tools that employees are using. Talking about how macros and VBA macros that could be launched and used to do social engineering or ransomware or something like that. So we're going to drive cybersecurity into the tools that employers are using. And then obviously productivity, because if you think about it, MSPs sell really two things. They sell productivity, keeping networks up and running, keeping networks secure and patched, and they also sell cybersecurity, right? Those are the two things. And we feel that we are evolving from cybersecurity to productivity to really go along with what our partners, our MSP partners are providing. So this is going to be a subscription that's going to be really, really helpful to all of our partners and to every single one of their SMB clients.
Absolutely. So we want to talk a little bit more about what this training is actually going to look like. And this is really following the models that we were talking about in the past with continuous education and engaging content. We are going to have a cybersecurity course that is focused on Microsoft. Like Art was saying, Nicole was saying, this needs to be platform specific. As we've seen changes in the security environment, we realize that you can't just do generic training. It has to be platform specific. So we are going to include a cybersecurity module in that Microsoft training. This is going to add extra credit points to the employee secure score, keeping that gamification aspect of our platform involved as we move into Microsoft training as well. In addition, we're going to have introductory training on Outlook, Teams, Excel, Word, and PowerPoint suites within Microsoft. These are going to be short courses they can take at any time. But beyond that, we really want to keep up with continuous education. We feel that it's really important that you can't just pack one training and pack all the information in the one training and be done with it. You really should update over time. Things change. People need to be reminded on how to do things. There's new updates to these products all the time. So we're going to be delivering these micro learnings and tips ongoing through the news feed. These are 30 to 60 second videos, infographics, newsletters, things that are going to keep people engaged in this training over time.
If you do a search, there are hundreds of free Microsoft 365 training, 3-hour classes, 4-hour classes, 6-hour classes. Nobody wants to take those. Nobody wants to take 6 hours of Word or 6 hours of Excel. So, we're really trying to focus on, an introductory class, but then use these micro learning 30-second, 60-second videos to hit a specific productivity tip, feature, all the new features that Microsoft's rolling out. We want to educate. That's the biggest problem that employees have. They don't know of all the new features. So we're taking our micro training and really extending it to micro learning to try to get it into that bite-sized piece that employees will, engage with, learn something, and move on.
Absolutely. One last thing to add here, this is all talking about Microsoft training. We are going to be releasing a Google cybersecurity course as well. So for those of you that are not on Microsoft, don't have your clients, Google is coming as well here. So moving to the next thing that we are super excited about, this is really important that as we grow and expand more and more of our training content, give more and more training opportunities, we need to make it really easy for people to access the training within our system. So we're proud to announce that our Microsoft Teams client is going to also be available in Q1 of next year. This is going to give you the ability to have your employees access Teams right from Microsoft Teams, or access our platform right from Microsoft Teams. They'll be able to also get notifications, as you see down here. They'll be able to get notifications from our platform to go do specific things, like go take your training and go take training, go engage in policies, things like that in the future. Specifically around the Microsoft training, they'll be getting alerts to new tips that are out there.
And that's so the key. I know you're going to show it, but while you bring that up, we're trying to remove friction. That's what we've heard from our partners. Help us get our users to take training. Now they get an email, they have to log into a portal. Our Teams client, they're in Teams all the time. Users are in Teams. We want to put that training right where they are. So, Chris, I think you got a notification there that you got that you have some training to take. Why don't we take a look?
I did, yeah. So let me do this.
And while Chris is pulling that up, we're already using this product internally for the BSN team, getting great engagement just from our own employees.
Yeah. So as you can see here, this was a notification that I got through Teams. Nick sent me this today. And this is, Nick, thank you for, the webinar is going great, so thank you for that. But this is going to be our micro training sent right through Teams, notifying us that it's available. You can watch the video right from here, and you can take the quiz as well. This is going to give you the ability to talk to your clients right through the news feed and then get notifications sent through Teams. We'll be able to send these micro trainings and other trainings right through Teams as well. In addition to that, they have access to the full platform through Teams from the employee perspective. They have access to all of the employee tools here. They can go into their dashboard as well, and they can go, do anything to improve their employee secure score. They can watch their annual training videos from here. Everything that employee has access to, they have access to right within Teams. What this also means is that there's no login required. As they have access to Teams, they're going to have access to our platform. Again, removing friction there, making it easier than ever to go get access to their training, to get onto the platform. We're always focused on making the time that they spend taking their training as little as possible, while also educating them. And I think this is going to be a great step forward to drive that engagement, while at the same time not taking a lot of time out of their busy schedules.
Nice CSS score, by the way. Maybe we will work on getting that up a little bit. But the other piece is that it's going to be available on Teams desktop and mobile. So all that functionality will be available on mobile as well. We're super excited about Teams. Our partners were super excited when we announced that at IT Nation as well. So I think this is going to be a complete game changer for how users get trained and interact with the content.
For sure.
I know personally, I was excited when we launched training in the Catch Fish plugin. I was like, oh, I'm in Outlook all day. I can access my training. But I really live in Teams all day. I don't ever close my Teams window from one of my monitors. So I think, as I mentioned, we've been testing this internally, and it has been wildly helpful to be able to take my training without even leaving Teams. So I can't say enough good things about having that functionality.
And again, we're using it. We're using it internally. It's real. It's working. It isn't just smoke and mirrors. We're actually putting the finishing touches on it, and we're going to be ready to roll that out next first quarter of 2024.
Yep. And we've been seeing, even internally with us, we've been seeing bumps in engagement, more people taking the micro trainings on a regular basis, interacting with some of the posts that we have out there, getting their ESS scores up. So it is working. When you give people access to a tool and you make it easier to use, people do engage. All right. And Art, I will pass it off to you to kind of give a big announcement here. Yeah.
So as the theme of this is we keep evolving, and our BPP is evolving also. A lot of people just call it the BPP, but it stood for the Breach Prevention Platform. We are switching the name to the Breach Prevention and Productivity subscription. So it's still the BPP, but it's really more than just a name change. We are going to have the dual focus on cybersecurity, productivity for the reasons I mentioned. MSPs, this will be a great subscription for all of your clients. And the good news is we're bundling all of the productivity training and teams into existing BPPs and new BPPs. So if, those million users that are on the platform, they're all going to get access to the productivity training, the Microsoft training, the Microsoft Teams interface. BPPs will start at $30 a month. And, it's really that evolution. And, and the truth is, maybe in 2024, it made sense to have standalone cybersecurity training. 8 years later, we feel we need to keep evolving. Users want different types of training. And it's a way of getting users to really engage with the training. It's kind of gets back to our partners that asked us for help. Help me get users to actually take the training. So you may get an employee who decides, I care about Microsoft Word or Excel. I want to get into the portal. I want to use that. I'll take the cybersecurity training, and then maybe I'll get right into the micro trainings and all of that. So there's other users that really care about cybersecurity. So we think Microsoft Teams, along with cybersecurity training, productivity training, all trying to reduce friction, trying to increase engagement, and all being brought together in our BPP. So really excited. That will be coming first quarter 2024, and I just can't wait. It's going to really change the way we interact with small and mid-sized businesses, SMBs, and their employees. Exciting stuff.
Yeah, we're super excited for this. Our breach prevention and productivity subscription, the fact that everybody's going to be able to get these great tools that we feel are absolutely essential for engagement and education. Really excited to get that going Q1 of next year. All right. I think the last topic that we do have here is talking about a new pilot program that we currently have available. This is our Enterprise Breach Prevention Productivity Subscription. We have currently started our pilot program for this. Where this all started is we saw a lot of partner requests, and they were requesting a few things, but they were really requesting these things, the partners that were requesting this, that is, they're requesting it because they're managing lots of users, they're managing lots of clients, and they needed some easier ways to manage those in the platform, and some easier ways to manage them in their own business as well. One of the biggest requests that we got is, I need a single price across all of my users, across all of my clients. And what we're offering in this Enterprise Breach Prevention Productivity Subscription is aggregated billing. So instead of purchasing a BPP for each one of your clients, you can purchase a eBPP, and it gives you aggregated billing across all of your clients. One price across all of them. With that model, it also allows you to provide the BPP to prospects or even existing clients to show the value of the full subscription to them with those extra licenses that you have. We've also added some enhancements to the platform that help you manage the platform as well. From a client perspective, the BPP doesn't change all that much. They're still going to have the same great value. They're going to get all the updates that we've been talking about, but you as a partner are going to get some enhancements that allow you to manage a little bit easier. The first one here is enhanced reporting. The enhanced reporting, this is going to give you a single pane of glass to be able to look at reports across all of your clients. We talked already about some of the automated reporting that we have, and we do have some great reports in our platform today, but that reporting is on a client-by-client basis. You have to go into that client account, or you can go automate those professional reports and send out to your clients. What this enhanced reporting does, gives you one single pane of glass to be able to draw insights across all of your clients. A few different areas that we did this on. We did this for stats in the platform, specifically our ESS stats, our employee secure score stats. You'll be able to get perspectives of all of your clients' employee secure scores. You can dive deeper into that to get users across all of your clients or a specific client. You can dive into all of the metrics that go into our employee secure score too, like micro trainings, annual trainings, phishing, dark web, all of that's available in that report. We also have deployment reports and phishing reports, all at that global level, to help you get those insights in one easy area instead of having to go into multiple client accounts to do so. In addition, along the same lines with reporting, we also have an API that's going to be available so you can get access to client and user data. Again, use those for reporting. We hear from a lot of partners, a lot of requests for these, specifically if they're using reporting tools like BrightGauge. We heard a lot of other use cases as we started to pitch this to partners. Some of the use cases, I heard from one partner, they want to actually take the leaderboard and put it on their website using the API so they can enhance gamification there. So lots of use cases for utilizing that API, but gotten great feedback on that so far. The last improvement to this, the last update that you'll get with the eBPP is proactive and premium support. And this is really exciting. We have an operations center that is set up that's going to help our partners proactively respond to potential issues in the platform. So this can be things like phishing fail rate. If you see, maybe things getting hit by spam filters, our operations center is set up to proactively respond and help you basically address issues before they become support tickets in your system. This is a growing subscription, so this is not the end of what's going to be offered in the eBPP in the future. This is growing, and because of that, we want our EBPP partners to be giving feedback to this. We want to get feedback from all of our partners as always, but we specifically want to know where do we want to see this product go next. So that's why exclusive access to the product roadmap for this offering is going to be a part of this subscription as well, so we can get that feedback and continue to add enhancements to this subscription.
Awesome. And we have a pilot going on right now, and we're actively enrolling partners in the pilot, getting that feedback. A couple of things I wanted to hit on. The aggregated billing, we've been asked for it. One of the best parts of it is you can roll out BPPs to every client. You don't have to worry about buying it for this client that has 3 users, or buying a BPP for this client that has 500 users. You buy the eBPP and roll it out to all of your clients, and then it's just the amount of aggregated users that are on there. And then the proactive support. We're really good. We pride ourselves on being really good from a support point of view, but it's very reactive. We hear it's a support request, support ticket, and we work on it. Here, it's a partnership between BSN and our MSP partners, where we'll be monitoring the platform, like a NOC or a SOC, and seeing if you've sent out something that have 100% phishing fail rate or clicks. There's probably a good chance a spam filter is capturing that. If we see that, we're going to tell you. We're going to work in partnership with you. So, that proactive premium support is going to be really important, because what we're really trying to do is we're trying to make the BPP a must-have solution for every SMB client, right? And we want to go, from 1 million users to 10 million users, from 30,000 clients to 300,000 clients. And we feel that in order to have that, we have to make the BPP better and better, but we need that management around it and that partnership. And that's where the eBPP really is. That subscription is for, we call it enterprise. And when you think about it, well, what's enterprise? Are you can roll it out to Merck's and Johnson & Johnson and Exxon? No, it's our partners enterprise. It's all of your clients. We're making it easy for mass adoption across a partner's client base. And that's what the E really stands for in the eBPP. So, the combination between adding productivity, drilling, into the tools that SMBs use in the BPP, and then providing the eBPP for mass adoption is, to me, is one of the most exciting things that we're going to be doing in 2024. And, I think our partners are going to really feel that this is both the BPP and the eBPP are huge steps forward for us.
Absolutely. And please reach out to us if you have interest in learning more about the eBPP. Reach out to your partner engagement consultant if you're an existing partner. If you are not a partner and you want to learn more, please reach out to us as well. Put something in the chat. We can definitely have somebody reach out to you. Okay. Nicole, you want to take this one just on some call to action?
Yeah, so our next webinar will be a partner exclusive webinar on January 10th at 2 p.m. Eastern time. We'll send a link to register for that webinar after this call. You look out for an email with all sorts of information, but that will be included in there. This is really our first look at the productivity training. So we're actually going to be showing you some of the content, the video format, things like that. So if you're interested in the productivity training, I highly recommend you join us on January 10th.
All right, look forward to seeing you all there. I think that's wrapping it up, Nicole. I know, we can wrap it up. We can, but I think we want to give away a couple prizes first, right?
Yes. So we spun the prize wheel for the registrants, and the winner of the Kindle was Valerie Knight. So Valerie, if you're still here, could you just send a message, and I'll coordinate with you after to get you that prize. And then the winner of the BSN swag was Dylan Proctor. So Dylan, if you're here, please let us know so we can get you those prizes.
Yep, they're both here. Congrats to you both.
Congratulations. And as Chris mentioned, if you are a partner, you have any questions on anything we covered today, please reach out to your partner engagement consultant or PEC@breachsecurenow.com to get connected to your PEC. And if you're not yet a Breach Secure Now partner, we do offer a free trial. So if you reach out to us at sales@breachsecurenow.com, we can get you some information, get you signed up. But really, there's never been a better time to be a Breach Secure Now partner. We're rolling out some really great stuff. We're all going to be learning this together and going down this road together. So it's a really great time to get involved here at BSN.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Thank you all for joining today. Really appreciate all the engagement. I see a ton of feedback already coming. And so again, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you, everyone.
Chris, Nicole, thank you very much. Everyone that's out there, thank you. Have a happy holidays, and we look forward to seeing you in 2024.
Yes,
Right.
thank
Yep.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Have a good one.